Good evening, everybody. I'm Joel Silva, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about horror movies. If you're looking for a good horror movie, something that has a good scare to it, I recommend either like Poltergeist or The Exorcist or something of that nature. A lot of these movies, I've always been kind of hesitant about watching these slasher flicks because they always have these weird they get predictable. Like you get the one guy who's like hears a noise downstairs, and they get that one girl like, oh, there's a noise downstairs. I should run downstairs to see what it is. And then she's the first one to go. And then there's always that one guy who goes, oh no, there's someone in the basement. I should go down there and find out. And he's taken out. But the one thing that always makes me laugh about horror movies, that makes it, in my books, comical, is this. It's like the Rocky movies, where Rocky starts the movie off, gets his butt kicked, comes back, goes into this epic training montage, comes back and beats the guy who beat him up. Horror movies are a lot like that, except some movies go from they go epic jump scares to getting progressively slower, and then they end with the monster getting blown up or set on fire or whatever. And that really just doesn't really appeal to me much. It was like the Jason movies. I never really got those. Or the Freddy Krueger. Chucky was just weird to my book. I've always liked the werewolf movies, like Silver Bullet or Wolf by Nightfall and the Beast of the Barrow. I always liked the werewolf movies. I like the true monster movies, the true epic classics. Nosferatu, I like that movie. I did not like Blackula. Never did not like that movie. That movie is a disgrace to vampire movies. American Werewolf in London was pretty cool. I enjoyed that one a lot. American Werewolf in Paris was pretty cool. Blood and Chocolate is a good vampire movie, a werewolf movie, if you're looking for something worth watching. I found out recently that Jason Momoa actually made a werewolf movie called The Beast, which I thought was pretty cool. And I watched it, and I must say, I give it 2 thumbs up because epic werewolf movie, I must say. They need to make. I noticed they need to make more like Creature from the Black Lagoon. Honestly, that was a great movie. And Lake Placid with the giant alligators, and Deep Blue Sea with the killer sharks, and Moby Dick about the whale. That was a pretty epic movie. Yeah. The Island of Dr. Moreau was also a good monster movie. If you like that kind of stuff. But when it comes to horror movies, to me, I'm all about the monsters. I like werewolves and vampires and ghosts and goblins and all that stuff. The scarier the monster, the better. And I do enjoy the old Japanese Ringu and The Ring and The Shining. And Ringu was pretty cool. I also liked Poltergeist. That was a good movie. And The Conjuring and Part 1, 2, Insidious. Those are great horror movies. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, Insidious Chapter 4, I think is what it's called, The Final Key, which is pretty cool. I watched the movie It. Wasn't a fan of it because I don't like clowns. But I do recommend, if you're in that genre, I'd recommend it. The one thing about horror movies, though, is sometimes they can go a little overboard. They make on the Sci-Fi Network, they came out with this one week where they had all these different horror movies of animals. like Zombie Beaver and like uh, I always like those B horror movies. Some of those B horror movies like Banshee and uh, The Mists and the Smog Monster and just all that kind of stuff. I'm a true epic. I'm a very big fan of horror movies, and I love them because they're amazing. I also really enjoy like Godzilla movies, and I've seen most all of them, and I highly recommend if you're looking for one to start off with. I would definitely recommend Godzilla. Um, if you're looking for a Godzilla movie to start out with, I highly recommend Godzilla 1985. Great movie. It brings your it made it it was back when they finally got rid of the whole stubby finger, this whole Godzilla, when the Godzilla had like the stubby arms and walked like this. He actually had hands where he could fight and stuff, and it was really cool. I also really enjoyed um, Godzilla vs. Cosmic Monster. Highly recommend something like this because this right here was an amazing movie, and 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 I know a lot of people are going to ask me about this eventually. I did see Godzilla vs. King Kong, and I must say I liked it a lot. I also saw Mortal Kombat, and I liked it a lot. But there's some things that movies nowadays that I just really don't like. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to watch a Tyler Perry movie. I've watched them, and I've watched a couple of them, and they weren't even funny. I mean, people say that, oh, they're funny and ha ha ha. I'm like, I watched them like it's like the Medea movies. I've watched maybe one of them, and it was like, they call this funny? No, sorry. I've also been like, I also I'm also a big fan of action movies, which I really enjoy. Um, I like favorite action movies have the Expendables 1, 2, and 3. Um, I really enjoyed a lot of. I've also been. I'm really into British movies a lot. Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and yeah, Shaun of the Dead's really funny because it's I. The guy in the movie's hilarious. He plays Scotty in um, Star Trek, the new movies, not the old ones. Um, I also been sorry. I've also been really enjoying a lot of these. I like documentaries a lot, and when it comes to documentaries, I'm all about the learning new things because I have this mantra that I live by, which is civilize the mind, make savage the body, and I try to every day expand my knowledge, and work on making myself stronger, which is civilize the mind, make savage the body. So I don't really like watching a lot of like when it comes to like movies like documentaries. I have to be really intrigued by them. Like I've been watching a lot of documentaries on like the Viking culture, Vikings, and um, Roman Legion, the Romans, the Roman times, Celtics. I've been watching documentaries on all that. I've been watching documentaries on like Egypt and um, a lot of like stuff about animals and stuff because I always stuff that happen. And while we're on topic, speaking of animals, can we all do us all a favor and please turn Discovery Channel back to animals? Because frankly, Discovery Channel shouldn't be called Discovery Channel now because it's all about cars now. And frankly, I don't give a care about that. The only time I actually watched Discovery Channel was when they had Shark Week. And Shark Week was the one time of the year that I could watch it and literally be like, I was intrigued by it. Because Shark Week was one of those ones where I would literally record the show on DVR and watch it. Like I would record the show on there. Because a lot of times a lot of the shows on Shark Week get kind of redundant and they get a little repetitive. There you go. And MTV. Can we please go back to being about music and not Jersey Shore and all that stuff? Because frankly, I don't want to see a bunch of dumb people like that. Sorry, not my cup of tea. And also, I get that, yeah, like, I get in this day and age, we've all been on lockdown for a long time. And we've all been here. We've all been all about the old, we've been seeing commercials about some people that get the vaccine. If you want to get the vaccine, you go right ahead. But stop with the whole forcing people, and people forcing you to get the vaccine if you don't want it, because it's called you have a choice. And if you don't want to get the shot, don't get the shot then. Just because I don't want to get the shot does not make me an anti-vaxxer. I'm not a lab rat, let's just say that. I just don't, because there's a movie that a lot of people need to watch called I Am Legend. That movie is based on what happens when a failed vaccine doesn't work. Yeah, that movie happened. So, also, I get that they love zombie movies. But when is it too much? Because after a while, you can only do so much with them. And there comes a time when you have to really question reality when it comes to, like, it's like, for instance, this. We live in a society where people have been believing the media for so long, and we're just now finding out that there could be life on other planets and stuff, which we've been finding out for years. But do you honestly think? Here's a question for all of you out here. Do you guys believe that that in our vast galaxy solar system that we live in, that we're the only living organism, we're the only life on any other planet, or just us? Because if we're the only things living on a planet, if we're the only planet that has life on it, that's a pretty lonely place. But what I think is this. If we're the only planet that has life on it, that's really lonely out there. And why is it that it's only that every time we have people saying alien and stuff, either the camera's blurry. It's like the Bigfoot sightings. Every photo of Bigfoot is always blurry. Why? What are they hiding from us? Honestly, what are they hiding? It's like like Loch Ness Monster. That photo's blurry too. There's a show on Hulu right now, and it talks about these pot growers in the Appalachian Mountains who were attacked and killed by something. Their bodies were ripped apart, but to this day, no one knows what happened. Was it foul play, or was it Bigfoot? We may never know. But I do recommend if you watch it, watch with an open mind, because trust me, you're gonna need it. I'm a strong believer that there are things in this world that can't be explained. there are things in this world that we just can't explain, and we I don't think humanity is ready to grasp the fact is that there are things in this world that we just can't explain. For instance, why does it seem that every time that every year we people keep posting about Nostradamus about his predictions in 2021, but yet every year their predictions, some of them came true, some of them did not. So, and also, why do people take weather advice from a rodent? That's my true question for you. Is why do we take weather advice from a rodent that, because it's going to see a shadow if you put a spotlight over its head. It's going to see a shadow and it's going to run inside. So can we please stop with this whole Groundhog Day fiasco? Good movie with Bill Murray, but it does not. It doesn't. Just people, let's just stop with the whole shenanigans, shall we? Also, I'm a strong believer that Christopher Columbus Day shouldn't be a thing. Considering the fact is he made 3 voyages from Spain, didn't find America, he found the Dominican Republic, which is in America, by the way, but yet he gets credit for finding America, but yet Leif Erikson found America first, which doesn't seem very fair in my book. But who am I kidding? I'm not a scientist. I'm not a politician and trying to sway to my way to all that. But it just seems odd that we still celebrate a holiday for a man who didn't really do nothing. Leif Erikson found America. In the TV show The Vikings, Ragnar Lothbrok's son came to America and made peace with the Indian tribes there. But yet, we still give credit to Christopher Columbus for finding America, even though he didn't find it. But hey, it's in the history books, which means it must be real then, huh? Also, I've been noticing that a lot of times history books don't really give you all of that. It's most history books are on the are all derived from how your history teacher talks about it. So, yeah, there's that. You know, if you really want to make history, like, want people to learn about history better, like those who don't learn from history didn't repeat it, stop changing history. Stop changing history so it won't offend people, because history should be learned from, not dusted on the rug because it offends. You don't. It's like this. Earlier, like the past couple of years, people were tearing down statues that have been like of Confederate soldiers and stuff, and digging them up and stuff from like. History needs to be told and not changed because we don't want to offend people. Which history was made to show the world history. Some of the greatest minds in this world created amazing things, but some of those amazing things they created also gave foot to some of the most destructive things in the world. It's like the Slinky, for instance. That toy that people used to make the Slinky. They used to be tank stabilizers. Silly Putty was wallpaper remover. So, in closing, I gotta say this. People, if you really want to learn history, there's a great thing called the World Wide Web, which you can learn history from. You can Google any subject you like to, from the American Revolution to the French Revolution to the Magna Carta. Learn history, people, and know that if we don't learn from history, we'll be doomed to repeat it. And can we please, we need to stop with this whole. This is before I'm closing right now. I gotta say something that needs to be said. I know a lot of people. I've been seeing the stickers Black Lives Matter. When you have to put a color in front of Lives Matter, it doesn't make it better. All lives matter. All lives matter. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Latino, nothing. Every life on this planet means something. Not just one color. So please, let's just quit with this. All lives matter. It's simple as that. All lives matter. And I know that might be hard for people to hear, but it's true. Because if we keep doing what we're doing now, this isn't 1960s anymore, people. We should be a united country, but we're not. We need to stop with this whole saying that just one color matters. All lives in this world matter. I'm a strong believer when I say this, that all lives matter, not just human, but animal, plants, all of it matter. Because without it, we might as well just go ahead and just fight it out. Because it's never ending. And it's getting really tiring to see this. When you turn on the news every day and you see riots in the streets because people can't get along. We need to stop with this garbage and figure something out to get along. Because if we don't, it's never going to end. And I know this might sound harsh. I know it might sound like something you might not hear. But if you have to put a color in front of something, just because, and you know what happened, all these people have, like the Ferguson thing happened and all that. That's terrible. Truly is. But you could have protested peacefully instead of having to act like a bunch of children and burn buildings down. People lost their livelihoods because of that garbage. So please, just do us all a favor. As a country, let's all come together as one. And just please, let's just stop with the hate. Because the hate's not getting any of us anywhere. What it is doing is it's making us look really weak. And a lot of you may not notice this, but have you guys noticed that a lot of the enemies that we have in other countries, they're taking notice of the fact that we're divided? You know, that saying, united we stand and divided we fall, is a very true statement, because at the rate we're going, yeah. And if we keep acting the way we're doing, a lot of those movies like Red Dawn and all that won't be just movies. They'll be realities if we're not careful. So I hope everyone has a great night. I hope everyone has a great day tomorrow. And I hope that you take my message to heart. And I hope that we can one day make this world a better place for the generations to come. Because if we don't, it just won't be. Especially it won't be a place to do that. Yeah. And I know this video is getting kind of long, and I know might sound like I'm raging, but I'm not. I'm very passionate about certain things, and I have one last thing to say before I close for the night, and that is this. We need to stop thinking that the ocean is going to provide us our food sources forever, because if we keep doing what we're doing now to the oceans, we're not going to have fish there. We're going to have barren oceans. And, you know, the most destructive force on this earth isn't a hurricane, it's not a tsunami, it's nothing. It's us. We are the most destructive force on this earth because we can't seem to get it right. We keep doing everything we can to destroy this planet. And I know I'm sounding like I'm preaching to the choir, but it's true. We need to change the way we do things. So I hope people hear what I say and understand that my intention wasn't to make you guys angry or mad or whatever. Well, a little bit of that part. Because I hope what I said opened your eyes to the fact that we need to change this world. Because on the path we're going on now, nothing's changing. This is never going to end. And it's to the point now where this is not a happy place anymore. So I'm Joel Silva, and as always, keep it smooth. Oh yeah.